This week on DNG Radio, I'm your host, Sherman Ray. I'm the founder and the president of the Diversity Networking Group, who is a sponsor of this show. If you're ever in Las Vegas, I really encourage you to come out to the Diversity Networking Group. We meet over at the Panera Bread, which is located at 7175 West Lake Mead Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada, 89129, or actually 128. The sponsor is all about, the Edge training is all about you, the business owner. And we met last night, which was fantastic. We had a great crowd of people there. As a matter of fact, if you look on Facebook and you look for, you Google in the Edge training and anything like that, you'll actually see a picture of some of the folks that were there. Excuse me. I have a little frog, a little tickle in my throat. Maybe I need a little bit of mocha java here, and hopefully you can't see the name of the company here, because we don't drink their coffee here. But last night we ended at like 10 minutes after 9. The lovely Mrs. Ray and I left, and they stayed. so some of the people stayed, so they took pictures of them. I think they went out drinking. Well, maybe they didn't go drinking, but they all stayed out late, and they stayed out late enough so they took pictures of what was going on. Once again, we had a great time. I want to welcome to the show all you folks that are here on the webcam. If you see behind me, we've actually got some advertising behind me. As a matter of fact, over my left shoulder over here, your screen right, there's actually a sign for our the newest, it's an event called Equipping the Saints. And that's going to be April 13th over at the Santa Fe station. That's produced by Michael Gutierrez and his folks, and I get to be the MC of that all day long. Start at 9 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me, got a little frog in my throat still, folks. So we'll get to be the MC of that show, which starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, ends at 5 o'clock. Got a lineup of speakers. Michelle Mortensen's going to be there, and Sean Cannell. And if you don't know who Sean Cannell is actually the guy who does the he does a lot of the video for Pastor Benny Perez, who is the pastor over at the Church of South Las Vegas, or excuse me, the Church of Las Vegas, not just South Las Vegas. They're the Church of Las Vegas. And Benny came here from the Washington area. Sean Cannell took over what was going on over his place, and literally the guy's got YouTube videos that hit, they've got like 2 million hits on it. So Sean's going to be there. He's going to talk a little bit about video stuff. Michelle Mortensen, if you don't know who she actually is a Channel 8, KLAS TV 8 news anchor. So she'll be there. Wonderful woman. And Sean Maddox will be there. Sean does social media type stuff also. And Alicia Brown. And Alicia Brown is a lady who does a lot of nonprofit stuff, but she's a women's leadership development specialist. And so she'll be there. And of course, yours truly, Sherman Ray. I will be there, and I'll be your MC all day long, which means I'm going to control the whole thing. And you folks know how much of a control freak I am. So it should be a fun time. And once again, that's April the 13th, and it's called Equipping the Saints. Also, we've got some signs behind us. Once again, we're going to, if you want to have your advertising on that people can actually see on YouTube and on Ustream, and you can put it any place and every place you want, just give me a call, and we'll actually be able to get you up there. Or you can go to our website, which is diversitynetworkinggroup.com. Or you can email me at diversitynetworkinggroup@gmail.com. It's diversitynetworkinggroup@gmail.com. Spell it with just one G, folks, because I know people have been saying, "Hey, Sherman, I can't get a hold of you. I've been sending you notes and everything else, and but I can't get a hold of you." Well, it's because they're spelling the email address with 2 G's, so you can't do that. Anyways. We got a lot of stuff to do today, guys. We really have a lot of stuff in the news, so we're going to get to it right off the bat. But before we do that, we actually have a Twitter account, and if you would like to follow us on Twitter, You can follow us at DIVNETGRP. That's Diversity Networking Group, and this is kind of shorten it. So DivNetGrip. And who came up with that anyways? Did I come up with that? Oh God, what was I thinking? It didn't make any sense. DivNetGrip. Okay, so I don't do you know, acronyms very well, but you know, we'll just have to live with it. It's DivNetGrip, Diversity Networking Group, at Twitter. So that's our Twitter handle, and you can follow us on Twitter and find out what's going on with us over there. Hey, let's get to some of the news today, guys, because we've had a busy week here in Las Vegas. You know, this show is all about what's going on business-wise in Las Vegas, so we want to make sure that you know, you want to keep abreast of what's going on. So Million, do you know what's going on over here now, over at the Sahara Hotel? Did you hear about that?
SLS.
The SLS, that's right. It's the SLS now, and there's a big sign out in front of it that says SLS. There's actually a group that came from Los Angeles, and they bought up the, and it's called the guy's name. It's called the SLS or the SBE Entertainment. It's headed up by a guy named Sam Nazarian or Nazarian. And they have holdings in hospitality, entertainment, gosh, real estate, yada, 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 clubs, hotels nationwide. And so they bought the place in like January of 2012, and they put up a big sign that said SLS. But for a long time, the camel sign for the Sahara Hotel has been up for a long time. Well, guys, guess what? That's right. Boom, boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. Hey! And it's gone. So this weekend it was gone. So they closed down part of the strip and took a crew of 24 guys from Vision Sign, and it's gone. So another one bites the dust, folks. That's it. No, I used to get really upset at the fact that so many places on the Las Vegas Strip are gone. But tell you the truth, folks, you know, the old camel sign, and so now that sign has come down. Interesting thing about this whole thing is there are actually people who actually put up the original sign that worked on taking it down too. So the sign's been up for like 59 years. Okay, so or actually, see, the Sahara was in operation for 59 years, but some of the people who put up that original sign back in the 1990s were the ones who actually took it down. So, you know, so we'll be looking forward to seeing what's going to happen over at the SLS. Evidently, it's going to become a high-end resort. And so, you know, maybe you'll have some kind of, you know, car show or something like that. Cirque du Soleil will probably stick something up over there. Hey, there's another story over at UNLV, and we've been watching this story a lot over at UNLV. For those of you who don't know what UNLV is, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and I went there myself. Rebels, go Rebels, Rebels. So they have got a thing going on, and the Rebel, and it's called UNLV Now. And it's a stadium that they've been working on. And now this is the story, and this is, I think this was in Vegas Inc. Yeah, it was in Vegas Inc. And it says, it's, and this has to do with the LVCVA, which is Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. And they're saying, hey, the Visitors Authority will consider diverting room funds, or they're still considering it, for construction for the UNLV Now Stadium. Now, what this is UNLV is situated on Maryland Parkway and between, you know, Tropicana and Flamingo, and it is our major university here in the city of Las Vegas. Well, they want to put a stadium right on the campus, and which makes a lot of sense. We've been talking about this for a number of weeks now, but and it was, the proposed thing was like 60,000 seats, and really to become a world-class, you know, university, they need a world-class stadium. Right now, any kind of stadium that they have to play in, it would be Thomas and Mack. Thomas and Mack just, you know, holds probably, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000. You know, it's just really not that big. Most churches in Las Vegas are bigger than that. But in order to become a world-class, you know, institution, they need something big. So the LVCVA says, hey, you know, we're still thinking about it, whether or not we're going to help you. The interesting thing about this, folks, is the LVCVA wants that business. They don't want UNLV to have this stadium. I don't even know why. The guy's name is Rossi Rollencotter, and he's the president and CEO of the LVCVA. They said, well, you know, maybe we'll think about you, maybe we won't. I can guarantee you, folks, they are not going to divert any money towards the UNLV Now Stadium. And you mark my words on this, it's going to be something different. Anyways, hey, maybe we'll come back to this in the second segment. This is Sherman Ray, and welcome to This Week on DNG Radio, a production of the Diversity Networking Group. We'll be back in just a minute. Clear. All right, and we're back, folks, to This Week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray, founder and the president of the Diversity Networking Group, and we want to remind you, folks, if you get a chance to come out and visit Las Vegas, be sure and come out to the Diversity Networking Group. We are just jam-packed with business owners who are there to grow. We've been hearing reports of people, this is an interesting thing, the people who leave the Diversity Networking Group are because their business gets too big. Really, they just physically cannot come to the group, which is a great testimony to what we're doing. We're really all about teaching business owners how to become all that they can be. Hey, let's get back to some of the stories that are here, because I'll tell you, I got a stack. For those of you who can see us on the webcam, literally, folks, I've got a stack of stuff here that we've got to get to, and I think you're going to find out that some of this stuff might appeal to you. Hey, there's a story out of North Las Vegas. And for those of you who have been in Las Vegas any length of time and you've played golf, you know what Craig Ranch is. Okay, it's located over off Craig Road, way down near like 5th Street or MLK in that area. And Craig Ranch, for those of you who grew up here in Las Vegas, Craig Ranch was the only place that a poor man could go and play, you know, for $20, a $20, you know, a game of golf. And so a few years back, a bunch of lawyers came in, they bought the property, and they closed down the golf course, which is really a shame, because the place was a gold mine. I mean, it sits on what, 150 acres? Yeah, it's 150 acres. It's a huge piece of property out in the middle of the desert. There's a golf course, right? It's all flat, it's nasty, it's dirty, but if you want to go out and play a game of golf, that's where you go for, you know, for $20. And that is including your cart fee. Go out there and just kind of roll around, lose balls out there where the geckos are at and stuff like that. But that was a place to go. Well, in comes the lawyers, like I said. They buy the place up, they shut it down, and then then they lose it, of course, and the city buys it, and the city says, hey, we can turn this into a park. So they're going to take, how much did they spend? $126 million to turn this place into a park. Now, when they decided to do this, the city was rolling, you know, money was flying all over the place. As a matter of fact, it was growing up out of the ground. That's where the money was going. It was like, you know how cabbage grows and lettuce grows? That's how the money was flowing all over Las Vegas. Well, Then all of a sudden the recession hit, and the bottom dropped out, and the city was stuck with this big $126 million, oasis in the middle of the desert. Well, it is going to cost them, I think it's going to cost them like $2 million, $2.2 million in the first year just to operate the thing. Well, if you don't know anything about the city of North Las Vegas, they're broke. They're broke. As a matter of fact, we used to have this North Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce. It's broke, so it joined up with the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce, became the Metro Chamber of Commerce, not to be disguised or not to be fooled or with being a Metro, whatever. But they're broke, and so now the city's going, well, I don't know. They might need a white knight to come in to help them make this thing happen, because right now they have no money, and they're hoping that nonprofits, or maybe you'll have a family gathering or baseball or somebody else will pay for it. They don't want to charge you to go to this park, but folks, it looks like if they can't do that, they're going to have to start charging people, or they're going to start pulling out any of the grass and the trees and putting something in there that doesn't require water. So it's unfortunate, but I think what they should have done, let it stay a golf course. I mean, unfortunately, I think city planners are not always looking out for the best things that are going on for the city. They're looking out for the best things, or excuse me, I should say for the public. They're looking out what the greatest thing is for the city's wallet. And that doesn't always work out very well, because the Craig Ranch golf course was a gold mine. It was a great place for people to go to. Any Sunday, any Saturday, that place was packed with people, golfers who had, I took my kids out there. My gosh, it was a generational thing. Anyways, so that's what happened with that. Okay, hey, let's talk about Wet and Wild. Or we should call it Cliff Canyons. Well, down at the southwest part of the valley, there is a place, a new Wet and Wild resort that's being put up over there, and the construction workers are starting to put together the first fiberglass pieces there. This is cool, folks. So this place is actually going to open up Memorial Day weekend. It's called Cliff Canyons, and they literally had 8,600 job applications for this place already, which is phenomenal. So we want to take our hats off for a great thing that's going on. It's actually located adjacent to the park. It's located adjacent to Fort Apache and Warm Springs, near Wilbur and Teresa Foss Middle School. Okay, so this is going to be great. So they're going to be putting together pieces throughout the week, and it's going to be opening up Memorial Day weekend, which is cool. So Cliff Canyons, Canyon Cliffs. It's like a Wet and Wild water park. We need that here in the desert, because it's hot. It's hot sometimes. I'll tell you, in the summertime, it gets up to, I think they call it Africa hot. That's how hot it gets here in the valley. So we need something to keep this place cool. Now, Million, have you been up to like a Wet and Wild before? Have you? Which one did you go to?
The Wet and Wild on the Strip.
Oh, the one on the Strip. Okay. That place had problems. So there were rumors that people would do things in the water. And so that's why they closed that thing down.
So they caught me?
Yes. So, Wet and Wild, it's back, folks. We are so excited about that. And it's called Cliff Canyons, or Canyon Cliffs, over on the southwest part of the valley. Hey, we got a lot of mega resorts that are going up around in the valley. And there's a Malaysian company that has come up with an artist conception. I wish I had it here for you to see, but I don't actually have a picture of the particular mega resort, but it's going to be huge. It literally is going to be huge. Lose from the Strip's new mega resort. Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about this particular mega resort. Okay, 3,500 rooms. Okay, Malaysian theme, or Oriental theme. It includes a cluster of hotels, 175,000 square feet of gaming space on multiple casino floors, 210,000 square feet of restaurants, 250 square feet of retail, a 4,000 seat theater. Wow, that's gonna be huge. more than 500,000 square feet of convention space and 300,000 square feet of pools and water slides. Hey, not bad, not bad for something. They're even going to have a replica of the Great Wall of China there. That's huge. I mean, this is not a small place. They're going to have faux terracotta warriors and an enclosure for pandas. This is going to be huge, folks. This is not going to be, this isn't going to be, Duck Dynasty. This is, even though that's one of my favorite shows, but it's not going to be Duck Dynasty. As a matter of fact, we should have a Duck Dynasty exhibition. Wouldn't that be cool? Uncle Si would come out with his glass of iced tea or something like that, and that would be great. Well, you know what? If you folks, if any of you are like me and you watch Duck Dynasty, if you've got any contacts, I want you to call them and say, hey, Sherman wants you to be on This Week on DNG Radio, and we'll put them on the show and we'll blast them out all over the place. Uncle Si, you have got an invitation from me right now, and you can call me up. You can actually call the phone line here in the stadium or in the studio, which is 702-382-0103. Call in and we'll talk to you. So you've got an invitation right now, or you can follow us on Twitter at DivNetGrip. I don't know why I found that name, but maybe we should change that to DivNet. So anyways, let's get back to this mega resort. Who stands to gain from the Strip's new mega resort? There's a lot of people, folks. This goes on and on and on and on. The unemployed, definitely. They're going to probably hire, gosh, I don't know, 250,000 people to work on this thing. This is a huge, huge property. The unemployed will definitely benefit. The airlines are going to benefit. Okay. Who else? Boyd Gaming. Now, Boyd Gaming may gain some traction on this because Boyd Gaming actually was building a resort across the street from where this thing is going to be at, and once the recession hit, they took a big dive. So anytime you can get more money going in, like Steve Wynn was saying, you get more money coming in, and then people get excited, and everybody wins as a result of this. So, and we'll come back to that story in our second segment, or in our last segment. But I want to remind you, folks, if you are watching the show, I want to welcome you to the show. This is This Week on DNG Radio. It's a production of the Diversity Networking Group. I'm your host, Sherman Ray, and I'm the founder and the president of the Diversity Networking Group. And we want to invite you, folks, join us on Twitter at DivNetGrip, DivNetGrp. And also, you can follow us on Facebook, for the Diversity Networking Group. I'll tell you, we're just having a great time. Anyways, in our last segment, we're going to talk a little bit more about some scandalous folks here in Las Vegas, especially Mr. Milan. Gosh, this guy's a piece of work. But anyways, that's going to be what we're going to hit in our last segment of This Week on DNG Radio. We'll be back in just a minute, folks. Hey, and we're back, folks, for This Week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. Well, in our last segment, we were talking a little bit about who gains and who loses with this new mega resort that's coming into town. And it's a Malaysian company. What do they call this thing? What is the name of this thing? It is called the World or Resorts World Las Vegas. So Resorts World Las Vegas it's going to be huge. So it's going to have a Great Wall of China in it. Man, they're going to have all kinds of gaming space and all kinds of. And this is something. And this is totally off the track here, but Tony Hsieh, and we haven't talked about Tony Hsieh here in a couple of weeks, because really. We've had such a buzz about these resorts and stuff like that are going on. But Tony Hsieh has done something to my psyche, folks. He has done a mind meld on me. And he's affected my thinking. You see, I was raised here in Las Vegas. And I wasn't born here, but I was raised here. And my wife and I were talking about this with our networking group this morning, the Christian Business Connection, and we've been talking about this on Facebook and that kind of stuff. Just getting the buzz going on. What would Las Vegas be like if we did not have casinos? Huh? That's my question. What would Las Vegas be like if we did not have one casino here? What kind of industry would we have here? And what kind of people would there be here? Okay? There would be a huge difference, folks. And this is a pivotal question, because we're sitting at kind of a crossroads in Las Vegas. Either we become a multi-diverse, economy here, or we continue down the path of casinofication. Okay, that's my new word, casinofication, and I hope it catches on. So if you hear that word someplace else, you heard it here first, casinofication. And don't say it fast 3 times because it'll sound really bad. But what would Las Vegas be like if there were just no casinos here? We would have mining here for sure. Would we go into manufacturing? Would we be like the next Silicon Valley? Because that's what Tony Hsieh wants to bring here. He wants to bring, the whole tech industry here. And the reason why it got really deep into my spirit was because I met a guy, and his name is Chuck Lay. Now, Chuck Lay is the founder and the president of a company called Cornerstone Merchant Services. Now, Chuck is from the California area, and he's only like 3 years older than I am, which means he's like 19. Because I'm a young guy. If you're looking on the video, you can tell I'm a young man. So Chuck is like 19, 20 years old. But he came out of retirement to start Cornerstone, and as we were talking to him yesterday over at the Lakeside Business Suites, he was talking about how he was into aviation and how he was into manufacturing and all these other things that here in Las Vegas we don't have it. We've got dirt and casinos. That's really all we have. So we are a dirty casino place. That's all we have. As a matter of fact, I recall as a kid that my mind actually went to somebody. For some reason, I was thinking to myself, how do other people make a living where they live at if there are no casinos? And it's funny that you would think that, but that's the way my mind worked as a kid. So now as an adult, I am dealing with that on how Las Vegas can change and become something different than just casino-fied. Okay, there's another word, casino-fied and casinofication, because really that's really what is probably killing Las Vegas, is we live or we die by the casinos, and everything is built around the casino industry. And there are people out there in the world who think that that's the only thing that there is going on in Las Vegas are casinos, but there are a few other things that are going on, and that's what we really report on. Anyways, so that's my question, is what would Las Vegas be like if there were no casinos? If you've got an opinion on that, I'd like you to sound off and let me know. What do you think? What would Las Vegas be like if there were no casinos? You can call in on the phone line. It's area code 702-382-0103, and let me know, what do you think? And if we get a chance, we'll actually take your phone calls. Hey, let's go on to a couple more articles that were going on. Here in Las Vegas, the home prices have flattened out for the last couple of months, but they are way up from a year ago. As a matter of fact, the median price of a home in February was about $150,000, which is really unchanged from January, but it was up 24% from 121,000 in February of 2012. And that's according to the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors. Interesting thing about this, folks, is the inventory of homes is down, which if you are a seller is good for you. Okay, so it's good for us as sellers. For once, it is, and this has been a trend that's been going on in the last few months, where the price on homes has gone up because the inventory is so low. I think the GLVAR says that there's only about 14,000 homes on the market. That's down like 25% from a year ago. So there's not a lot of homes out there. Great time to get a good price on your home. Actually, people are lining up to buy homes, which is cool. And so we're excited about that. Hey, let's get to this this other story. This guy, there's a guy named, his name is Chris Milam or something like that. But this is the story on this guy. He decided to work with the city of Henderson to buy a piece of property. Now the property was slated for stadium property or large use. So this guy buys this piece of property or contracts with the city and says, hey, I want to buy this piece of property. I'm going to put a stadium on it, and gives him drawings and all this other stuff, and this letter of intent from the city, and he gets it for a sweet price. Great price on this piece of property. And guess what he does? He starts selling it off to residential developers for a huge profit. And the city goes, whoa, wait a minute, dude. You cannot do this. There's absolutely no way this property is supposed to be used for a stadium. And so this has been in the news for a long time now. What are you? And so the city sued this guy, and they said, look, you're going to have to stop this. This ain't going to happen. So what they said to the guy is, in lieu of us tar and feathering you, you are going to be barred from ever doing any business with the city of Henderson. So you can't do any work with the city of Henderson. This piece of property was like 485 acres. I mean, it's not like it was 20 or 30 acres. This was 400 some odd acres. And it was developed for a stadium, or that's what it was owned for, as a stadium or arena. City of Henderson was all excited about this. It was going to bring jobs. It was going to do all this other stuff. And not only that, but they're going to have to pay back the lenders. The lenders on the property have to pay $250,000 by 5 o'clock Friday to cover the legal costs, and effectively keep the deal alive for someone else to buy this piece of property. Okay. They also have to pay the city of Henderson $4.25 million in order to close escrow on the land. So, there's still something in the works to maybe get an arena there. But this guy, this Milam guy, or Milam, Chris, they gave the guy the boot. That is and it's amazing that this guy would say to the city, "Hey, city, yeah, sure, I'm gonna use this property to do this, that, or the other thing, and then do some backroom deal to sell it for something else." Amazing. This story should actually be on the story of American Greed. That would be it. That would be a good one. Anyways, hey, let me. I know we've only got a couple minutes left here, folks, and I don't really want to go on to this last story because I really want to talk about some of the things that are going on. If you're on the webcam, you can actually see behind me right here. We've got pictures that are all behind us and all that kind of stuff. And really, these are the advertisers who have said, "Hey, we want to get our business advertised on your radio show." Now, this show goes out to not only to Las Vegas, but it goes all over the world, which is cool. And the video portion of it can be uploaded any place. So we've got it on YouTube, we've got it on Ustream. And if you would like your business on our show, all you need to do is contact me at diversitynetworkinggroup@gmail.com. That's diversitynetworkinggroup@gmail.com with just one G, and say, "Hey, Shirley, I'd like to put my business on your screen." Or what we do is in between the video shots, or in between the radio portion, we can actually place your business on there. So that's an unashamed ad promotion for advertisers, but it's a great way to get your business out there. So as you can see behind me, we've got it's over this shoulder right here. We've got the Equipping the Saints. They're out there. We've got the Edge Training, which is cool. We got Leadership in Action, who's one of our sponsors for the show here. And so you can actually get your video up there, or your banner up there behind me. And we're actually going to make it a little bit bigger so they can actually see it real good. So I got a lot of wall space here. I can fill it up pretty good, and also we can put you, hopefully get you some visibility. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray, and this is This Week on DNG Radio. It's a production of the Diversity Networking Group. If you're ever in Las Vegas, I want you to come and visit us at 7175 West Lake Mead Boulevard. Join all of our other excited business owners who are out there just improving themselves and networking and developing relationships. We start on Thursdays at 7 o'clock in the morning at the Panera Bread, once again at 7175 West Lake Mead Boulevard. We hope to see you. If you want to get a hold of me, once again, we are on Twitter at DivNetGroup, and that's DIVNETGRP on Twitter, or you can email me at diversitynetworkinggroup@gmail.com. It's been Sherman Ray. We will see you again next week. Bye-bye.